You've probably done all the right things. You've visualized. You've affirmed. You've scripted and set intentions. You've followed the steps, stayed positive, tried to believe, but still, nothing shifts. And the worst part? You start to wonder, if something's wrong with you, it's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're not trying hard enough, The truth is something far more subtle. Your frequency is blocking what you want. And no, I'm not talking about vibes in a vague, woo-woo way. I'm talking about the actual electromagnetic frequency. Your body, your heart, your nervous system are constantly broadcasting, even when your words say otherwise. You see, in the quantum field, reality doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to the coherence of your signal. And most people are walking around broadcasting chaos. They affirm abundance while embodying fear. They visualize love while carrying the energy of rejection. They ask for alignment while vibrating in resistance that the field doesn't punish. It reflects. This isn't spiritual judgment. It's precision physics. You are a transmitter, constantly. And if your dominant signal is rooted in lack, stress, or neediness, the universe isn't going to override that just because you said a perfect affirmation. This is why manifestation feels broken for so many people. Because they're doing everything except the one thing that actually matters. Adjusting their frequency at the source. In this video, we're going to take a deeper look at why your energy might be sabotaging your desires and how to shift. From sending out mixed signals to becoming an exact match for the life you say you want. No fluff. No rituals. Just the raw mechanics of how alignment really works. And why the version of you who's chasing is never the one who receives. Because the quantum field doesn't speak English. It speaks vibration. And today, you're going to learn how to speak it fluently. We've been taught that our thoughts create our reality. That if we can just think positive, the universe will reward us. But that's only a small fragment of the truth. And it's where most manifestation teachings fall apart. Because in the quantum world, thoughts are just one layer of a much deeper signal. They're like ripples on the surface of a vast ocean. But the field, the infinite intelligence that holds all potential realities, doesn't just read the ripples. It responds to the ocean's entire frequency, your beliefs, your emotions, your nervous system, your subconscious wiring, your embodied state. This is why you can think, I am abundant, while your body still lives in panic every time you check your bank account. It's why you can say, I am love, while your heart still contracts from the wounds you never healed. It's why you can visualize freedom, but still breathe like you're trapped. In the quantum field, the signal that shapes your reality must be coherent, not just mentally aligned, but emotionally and energetically consistent. Otherwise, the field receives static, a scrambled transmission full of conflict and contradiction. And that's what blocks the flow. Not because you're not worthy, not because you're doing it wrong, but because your dominant frequency, the one below the surface, is broadcasting fear, lack, or survival, even while your words are saying something else entirely. Imagine trying to tune a radio to a specific station, but your dial is constantly drifting between signals. You get a little bit of clarity, then static, a glimpse of the song, then noise. That's how most people are manifesting. They're trying to receive one reality while broadcasting another. The field doesn't punish this. It simply can't lock onto a signal that isn't stable. This is why effort doesn't work. This is why forcing backfires. Because in the quantum, what you're doing matters far less than what you're being. You can hustle, grind, repeat affirmations for hours, but if your inner state is one of desperation, nothing shifts. The field is listening, not to your voice, but to your entire system, your coherence, your congruence, your truth beneath the surface. You don't need to fake positivity or pretend everything is fine. You just need to become honest about the signal you're actually sending so you can begin to tune it, not suppress it. In the next part, we'll uncover how most people unknowingly broadcast lack, even while chasing abundance, and what happens when your frequency and your desires are completely out of sync. Let's talk about the most common energetic trap in manifestation, the hidden frequency of lack. It's tricky because it often disguises itself as desire, ambition, even spirituality. You say you want more money, more love, more peace. You visualize it, journal about it, repeat the mantras. But underneath it all, the emotion driving the desire isn't expansion, it's emptiness. It's a subtle signal that says, I don't have it, I'm missing it, I need it to feel whole. And that frequency is lack. You can't fake abundance from a place of scarcity. You can't trick the field with fancy words while your nervous system is bracing for loss. You can't say, I am enough, while your inner world is still rooted in I am not safe. The field doesn't respond to your vocabulary. It responds to your emotional baseline. Here's how it shows up. You visualize success, but you're doing it from anxiety, hoping it will rescue you. You affirm love, but you're secretly afraid it will never come. You focus on manifesting money, but every time you spend, your body tightens with guilt or fear. So the question is not, what do you want? It's what emotional state are you living in while you want it? Because that's the frequency that gets mirrored back. Most people think they're manifesting from vision, but they're actually manifesting from survival. They're chasing abundance like prey. They're clinging to desires like lifelines. And in doing so, they stay stuck in the vibration of not yet, not enough, not mine. This is why trying harder doesn't help. It only amplifies the static. Because the more desperately you reach, the louder the field hears. I don't have it. The solution isn't to stop desiring. Desire is natural, beautiful, creative. But desire must be anchored in wholeness, not in hunger. In knowing, not in needing. True abundance isn't something you chase. It's something you match. And to match it, you must learn how to regulate your internal frequency, to shift from the noise of lack to the stillness of sufficiency. This doesn't mean faking joy or pretending you're rich when you're not. It means becoming the version of you who isn't obsessed with fixing or chasing, but who's already energetically available for the life they're calling in. And that shift, subtle as it may seem, is where the field starts to bend in your direction. In the next part, we'll go deeper into this idea, how to recognize when your signal is scrambled, and what real alignment feels like in your body, not just your mind. Before we move forward, take a breath. If this message is resonating with you, if something inside you feels seen, remembered, or aligned, consider supporting this space by subscribing and liking this video. This isn't just about algorithms. It's about creating resonance and helping more souls find the signal in the all noise. Thank you for being here. If your frequency is your signal, then the most common reason people don't receive what they want is because that signal is scrambled. Think of it like this. You're trying to tune into a song, your dream life, but your internal dial is caught between stations. Static, noise, half hope, half doubt, half joy, half fear. The result? Confusion in the field. And confusion doesn't collapse reality into form. It disperses it. Let's break down what scrambled signals actually feel like. You affirm abundance, but your chest tightens every time you think about bills. You visualize a loving relationship, but deep down, you're terrified of being seen or hurt again. You say, I trust the universe, but you check your manifestations obsessively, anxiously scanning for results. These are energetic contradictions, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're not yet unified. Your conscious mind wants one thing. Your subconscious and your nervous system are broadcasting another. And here's what's important. The field reads the dominant frequency, not the loudest one, but the most consistent, embodied one, which means the tension, fear, or doubt that you ignore, that's actually the part shaping your reality. This is why results feel slow, stuck, or inconsistent. It's not that you're not trying hard enough. It's that your system is divided. And a divided signal is a blocked signal. You can feel it in your body, the clench in your gut, the hesitation in your breath, the tightness in your chest when you try to imagine a life that feels too big. It's not just resistance. It's a mismatch, a dissonance between what you want and what you believe you're safe to receive. And here's the hard truth. If part of you feels unsafe having what you want, you will subconsciously push it away. Not because you're weak, but because your nervous system has learned that struggle is familiar and safety lives in the known dot, so you stay in energetic limbo, wishing for change, but anchoring in fear dot. And every time you try to force alignment through effort or perfection, you only increase the split. Because alignment isn't built by force, it's built by coherence. By bringing your mind, body, and emotion into agreement, that the moment that happens, even just for a breath, field can lock onto your signal. The noise clears. The song begins dot in the next part. We'll dive into exactly how to build that coherence from the inside out, so you're no longer fighting your own frequency, but finally sending a signal strong enough to bend reality dot. So how do you stop sending mixed signals to the quantum field? How do you stop fighting yourself internally and begin building energetic coherence? It begins with a radical shift in approach. Stop trying to control your reality and start regulating your signal. Energetic coherence isn't about perfection. It's about congruence. It means your thoughts, emotions, body, and nervous system are all saying the same thing. It means your inner world feels safe, not just hopeful. Let's break this down. You don't align by yelling affirmations over your fear. You align by meeting the fear honestly, without judgment, and signaling to your system that it's safe to let go. Because when your nervous system relaxes, your frequency stabilizes. Coherence doesn't come from forcing yourself to feel good. It comes from learning to feel fully and then choosing consciously what state you want to return to. That's power. That's alignment. Here's a practice you can use. Drop into the body. Notice how your body responds when you think about your desire. Is there tension, fear, numbness? That's your signal right now. Validate the signal. Don't push it away. Don't shame it. Just acknowledge. Something in me feels unsafe receiving this. That truth alone is healing. Breathe into neutrality. Shift from craving to presence. Remind your body, I'm safe now. This moves you out of survival frequency. Anchor the new frequency. Don't just think the new state. Feel it. Breathe as if it's real. Speak from it. Let your entire system embody the vibration of already having it. This isn't about faking it. It's about becoming it. Most people try to do alignment as a task, but coherence isn't a to-do list. It's a state of being. It's when your attention, emotion, and nervous system are synchronized, no longer battling each other. And when that happens, your signal becomes clear, stable, magnetic. You don't have to yell louder to get the universe to hear you. You just have to match the frequency of what you're asking for and sustain it long enough for the field to respond. The more you return to that state, the stronger the signal becomes. And eventually, it becomes your default, your home frequency dot. And that's when things begin to shift without force, without grind, without doubt, because your inner world is no longer resisting the thing you say you want dot in the next part. We'll explore why letting go is not weakness, but actually the final key to letting it in. Letting go. Two words that sound passive, but in the quantum world, They hold immense creative power. You've been taught that desire requires pursuit, that wanting something deeply means holding on tightly, that urgency and effort are the currency of change. But the quantum doesn't operate through desperation. It responds to resonance. And there's a massive difference between wanting something from lack and allowing something from alignment. When you're gripping tightly, the signal you're broadcasting isn't desire. It's fear. It's the belief that I don't have this yet, and I might never get it. That signal, loud and clear, is what the field mirrors back to you. Here's the paradox. You receive when you release. Not because you're giving up, but because you're finally matching the energy of fluff. Trust. And trust is the language the quantum understands best. Think about it. When was the last time something truly amazing happened in your life while you were obsessed, anxious, or desperate? Now think about those moments when it just happened. The job offer, the unexpected opportunity, the synchronicity that took your breath away. You weren't chasing. You were open. You had softened your grip, and in that softening, the field could finally flow. This is why letting go doesn't block manifestation. It completes it. But here's the challenge. Your ego wants control. It wants guarantees. It wants timelines and proof. So surrender feels like failure, like weakness, like giving up the dream. But it's the opposite. Surrender is what aligns you with power beyond your control. It moves you out of contraction and into expansion. And that shift from pressure to peace creates a clean, clear, resonant field. So, how do you actually let go? You stop asking, when will it come? And start asking, who am I without the craving? You stop proving. You stop performing. You stop bargaining with the universe. And instead, you drop into trust. You move as if it's already unfolding. You speak with peace in your voice. You breathe without needing to grasp. That letting go doesn't mean losing interest. It means you've embodied the reality so deeply, yet your nervous system is no longer fighting it. You know it's coming, or something even better, because your field is now a match, not a beggar. This is the final act of quantum alignment. Not needing it, because you've already become the version of you that has a dot in the next section. We'll explore how to stabilize this alignment, so you're not drifting in and out of it, but actually building a foundation that holds. Alignment isn't a one-time event. It's not a fleeting moment during meditation or a temporary high after watching an inspiring video. True quantum manifestation happens when alignment becomes your baseline. But here's the catch. Most people are inconsistent signals. One day they feel clear, hopeful. The next they're anxious, doubtful, stuck. And the quantum field? It responds not to intensity, but to coherence. So how do you stabilize your frequency when the world keeps pulling you back into fear, scarcity, and reactivity? The answer is, you train your state. Just like you train a muscle. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about embodied conditioning. You begin to teach your nervous system, your mind, your emotions, to default to alignment. How? First, awareness. You can't shift what you don't notice. Start tracking your inner state, not just your thoughts, but the tone of your energy. Is your body tight or open? Is your breath shallow or full? Are you reacting or responding? The quantum reads all of this. Second, regulation. When fear spikes or doubt creeps in, don't suppress it, regulate it. Use breath, movement, stillness, nature, whatever brings your body back into balance. Because when your body is safe, your signal becomes stable. Third, environment. Your field is shaped by the spaces and people around you. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, noise, or chaos, your signal will reflect that. So curate your environment like your reality depends on it, because it does. Create rituals, rhythms, and boundaries that nourish coherence. Fourth, Identity reinforcement. Stop chasing results. Start reinforcing identity. Ask yourself daily, how does the version of me who already lives that reality behave? How do they move, speak, respond to challenge? Then be that version, not someday now. This is how coherence becomes natural. You rehearse the future version of you until it becomes the current you. Fifth, emotional recalibration. Most people are emotionally loyal to their past. They revisit old stories, old wounds, old limitations. But alignment demands emotional loyalty to your vision. This doesn't mean spiritual bypassing. It means choosing not to be defined by your past frequency. You learn to feel the emotion of your desired future before it arrives. Joy, gratitude, certainty, these are the codes that stabilize your field. And finally, consistency over intensity. You don't need massive leaps. You need small, daily alignments. Tiny shifts in how you breathe, how you think, how you speak to yourself. Because the quantum doesn't reward force. It responds to signal integrity. When you show up in alignment, over and over again, the field adjusts. Reality bends, not because you manipulated it, but because you finally became a clear, coherent invitation for it to respond. In the final part of our journey, we'll integrate everything we've explored and reveal the real secret to manifesting. From the quantum field. So here we are, not at the end of a process, but at the threshold of a new way of being. Quantum manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you become. It's not a box to check. It's a frequency you learn to live inside. Let's gather the pieces. Now, you've come to see. It's not about chasing what you desire, but aligning so deeply with it that it naturally finds you. It's not about trying harder, but about becoming clearer that the quantum field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to signal, to coherence, to presence. And that signal isn't just your thoughts. It's your emotions, your beliefs, your nervous system, your actions, all of it working in harmony. When those layers align, when your entire being becomes one clear note, that's when the field listens. That's when it responds. But here's the deeper truth. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what your system is prepared to receive. Most people aren't blocked by a lack of knowledge. They're blocked by a lack of trust. They doubt the timing. They doubt the process. They doubt themselves. So they tighten. They force. They scramble. But the quantum doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to clarity. The moment you stop grasping, you become available. The moment you release the chase, you open the channel. So now ask yourself, are you trying to get, or are you allowing yourself to receive? Are you clinging to what's missing, or living from what's already here? Are you vibrating in your past, or transmitting the future? This isn't philosophy. It's embodiment. It's a daily decision, a frequency you return to again and again. You're not just a passenger in this field. You are a transmitter, a mirror, a sculptor of possibility. So your work is not to convince the universe. It's to remember who you are, to live as the version of you who no longer waits for proof, because they are the evidence. When you become the signal, the field has no choice but to reflect it, not because it rewards effort, but because it follows alignment. So stop performing. Stop proving. Stop reaching outside yourself. Start becoming. Start radiating. Start trusting. Because in the quantum, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And the moment you finally settle into that truth, everything begins to move, not because you forced it, but because you finally became still enough for the field to recognize you. The frequency has always been yours. The signal is always waiting. What are you choosing to send?